checked later with Jim Furlong and older local residents. According to them, the psychic story is true. It coincides with what actually happened more than 50 years ago. The experiment is over. Sylvia and Nick have identified the ghost as that of a heartbroken young woman. But the Furlongs have no fear and have chosen to stay on the ranch. In other cases, however, homeowners are frightened of their ghosts and want help. At their next destination, will these psychics be able to free an imprisoned spirit? Nestled in the foothills of the Sierra Nevada mountains of California is a country inn called the Vineyard House. It has been a way station for weary travelers ever since the days of the gold rush. Journalist Antoinette May was contacted by the owners of the inn because they believe their property is haunted. The house was built by Robert Chalmers, a miner who became rich during the gold rush of 1849. But tragedy struck when Chalmers went insane at the peak of his success. His house has been plagued by unexplained phenomena ever since. Recently, experiences have become so chilling that guests, such as Marion Sharp, are afraid to spend the night. Marion had come here for a weekend vacation, but did not have a restful visit.
I awakened around 4 in the morning with an overwhelming sense of anxiety and terror, as if I had awakened from a very bad dream, but I had not had a bad dream. I was immobilized with fear. There was an acceleration of pulse and heart, and I felt terribly warm and highly agitated, and I was fighting tears for a period of time, and then finally I was crying. And overhead there was a light footfall, as if a woman were walking back and forth across the room. Then there began a series of banging doors, one after another, slamming. We could see nothing in the dimly lit corridor, but we could hear the slamming and banging of doors. Well, I'd be pleased to come to dinner, but there is no way that I would ever think to stay a night. Never.
Having nowhere else to turn, the owners of the inn asked the psychic team to communicate with the ghost in an attempt to free its restless spirits. Anxious to help, the psychics decide to spend the night. The Vineyard House still affords the wayward traveler a warm fire and a hearty dinner.
Are they all this busy?
Well, this one has a lot of history.
Sylvia's husband, Dal Brown, and Nick's wife, Chris Nocerino, are also on the stakeout.
Yeah.
Did you take notes?
Yeah.
As they ready for sleep, the psychics jot down their initial feelings. A strong sense of apprehension falls over the house. Hearing strange noises, Nick ventures into the hallway and begins to pick up psychic vibrations. Also awakened from a fitful sleep, Sylvia joins him. The house seems alive with energy. The psychics try to communicate with the ghost, but contact remains elusive. Ghost hunters enter the cemetery where the bodies of the original owners, Louise and Robert Chalmers, are buried. The psychics sift through all their impressions to piece together the story. Is there a ghost in the house? And if so, is it Chalmers who had gone insane? Or is it his wife?
I feel tragedy. I find almost a Romeo and Juliet kind of a tragedy. A woman who loved a very vital man, his demise, and her devastation from it. The woman that seems to be the strongest influence in this house, by the name of Louise, I think in some way has been tremendously maligned. I think out of pity, caring, and certainly love, that she chained this man in the basement in order that he wouldn't hurt himself. And I think in her mind, she felt that she just couldn't send him away to what we might think of an early snake pit type of confinement that they had in mental hospitals.
Somebody's singing. It's an old song. It goes something like, I come from Alabama.
Banjo on
Oh,
my knee.
Susanna, with a banjo on my knee. I'm coming to thee.
I feel that Louise is still in a protective situation in the house. And even this stone is almost like a symbolic reminder that she's still going to overlook her house and protect, let's say, her domain. Her personality is so strong and protecting that it's she that walks the halls. And I think this protection has lasted beyond the grave. I think she's here.
Well, I think Louise is very despondent over losing her money, her land, and everything, and she has a possession on the house. She still sees the house as fulfilling her ambitions. And there are no ambitions to be fulfilled here. She'll be there a long time.
Sylvia and Nick say they are unable to expel the spirit of Louise because her presence, her guilt, is too strong. Ghost hunting is at best an inexact process. What determines success or failure is often in the mind of the observer. The ghost seekers believe they have failed, but only future guests at the Vineyard Inn will be able to make such a judgment. Psychics who are sensitive to the supernatural claim it is possible to contact the spirits in a haunted house. Traumas, such as a broken love affair or an untimely death, prevent these spirits from accepting their own demise. Supposedly, they linger in our world, trapped by their own turmoil. Ghost hunters try to comfort them, but they are not always successful. Sometimes the ghost may be freed from bondage. Sometimes it may be imprisoned in its earthly home for eternity.